like I said, going back to you with the love that you get and everything, I think it's warranted and it's factual, and it's a credit to you for being consistent like this that you have been throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get a 10 plus career and still being still getting the notoriety that you get for just not putting in the work, for not being consistent with your music, and for not also doing it on the business aspect of things. You know what I'm saying? Because as an independent artist, and this is where something I can relate with too as an independent podcaster, is that anybody could do a podcast. Anybody can make music. You know what I'm saying? But it's that shift when you start incorporating it, the business side of stuff, the tax bracket stuff, the LLCs type of shit. You know what I mean? The employee, the EIN numbers type of shit, the numbers, what you putting in and what's the take home type of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when it starts to get in the how bad do you want this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's where it gets heavy. And as an independent artist, there's not much, especially out here in SAC, there's not much leeway to look out after. You know what I'm saying? There's not someone that's going to give you a blueprint or even coming up to be like, follow this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's a credit to you. And that's what I wanted to hit on next. How has it been on the business aspect of this independent route?
I think once I really like took the pressure off myself, like, so what happened was, like, I think around like when I started going to New York, and I would come back to SAC and I would go back to New York, it's like I was like almost kind of at a point where I was making a living off of rap at that point. Like, I was like still doing other stuff on the side here and there, but like for the most part, like I was kind of paying my bills off rap. So, but that only lasted for maybe like a really like maybe 2-year period, if that. And then like I kind of like, I didn't go into a depression at that point, but it was kind of like a big reality check, because it was like, all right, I got used to being able to like, I was used to having to like do other stuff to pay my bills, and then I was able to pay my bills like this, and I was able to like focus on the music more, or like, actually I take that back. Like, I think it was more realization that I wasn't able to focus on the music as much because I had to do more logistical stuff, but I enjoyed the freedom of not having to like go find a job or like trap is hard. You know what I mean? So then when I like realized like, all right, well, if I want to like continue to live how I'm living, I'm gonna have to like either hustle harder or, you know, get a job. And I can't make people buy my music. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can put more effort into marketing and promoting and stuff like that, and try and make more of a conscious effort to like make my shit, put my stuff in people's faces, but I can't make it hot. And this is at a point in time where I think like, you know, like, I think due to the political climate, not just in Sacramento, but just kind of the overall vibe of like the rap game and like the streets just in general, and just that climate, I think you being popping I think I was like part of the last era where you could like really get popping off of just having good music, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like anytime after, I think like 2000, let's say like 15, you kind of had to have some controversy attached to your situation to make your music go. So around that time, I kind of fell back. And I think, to answer your question, like how it's been for me on the business side, once I stopped kind of like being dependent on trying to make money off of rap and just started looking at it like, all right, if this is something I want to do, it's kind of like an expensive hobby. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I compare it a lot to, I have two analogies. Like, I compare it to like college basketball a lot. And then I compare it to like, once you get past that point of like, you have like, basically if you're a college basketball player, you have 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get, you know, if you don't go to the league in those 4 years, your situation is either you're going to play in like a D League or a G League. You're either going to go play overseas, or that's pretty much it. Or you're going to look into doing some type of professional training, or like taking a role behind the scenes on a team or something like that, and being a trainer.
Facility,
you know what I mean? So, if that doesn't work out, you know, the analogy that I have is like, you know, if your shit doesn't pop in those 4 years, it's kind of like if you're still super talented and you're still competing at a level where it turns into almost like being in the PGA, where, okay, you might be good enough to get in, but if you don't have wins under your belt, or if you're not like a household name, you're not garnering sponsorship. So you have to pay your way through. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people look at my situation like, all right, you're I played my music for a young lady couple at work not too long ago, and she was like, "Oh my God, this sounds like really good. Like this sounds like stuff that I listen to." And I was like, "Yeah, that's because I'm a professional artist. Like I make music at a professional level. Like you know what I'm saying. There's nothing about anything that I really put out there like." From the artwork to the mixing and mastering to the quality of the music to the production to the music video to the how I'm
Treatment.
styled and dressed, everything is done pretty much at a professional level. So, but I'm financing it being done at a professional level and I'm not making pro money doing it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?